It's strange to think that there are now at least 4,719 confirmed exoplanets orbiting 3,490 star systems in the universe. But up until 1995, we didn't even know they existed. It's thought that there are now billions, if not trillions of exoplanets in our galaxy alone, that are still waiting to be discovered. But of the ones that have been identified, all manner of weird and wonderful things have been observed, and although some exoplanets are thought to have the potential to host life, others are the stuff of nightmares. Now, before we dig into these planets, from the oldest to the hottest, we wanted to ask you, have you ever looked out of the window, deep in thought, and asked the simple question of how? How do we exist within the laws of nature? How does planet Earth combine the perfect set of equations to make our society and planet at large function so seamlessly? How do we fit into this infinite mysterious universe? Or better yet, how does the universe allow us to fit inside of itself? Like so many other questions, most of these answers boil down to basic math and science, subjects that are normally deemed as complex and frustrating. However, we've found that through creative storytelling and interactive problem solving, understanding these equations to gain wisdom into the how is much less daunting than the world makes you think. And with brilliant, proud sponsors of today's video, achieving this knowledge is easier than ever. Brilliant is an interactive website and app-based platform featuring problem-solving activities and specially designed coursework meant to expand your involvement with maths and sciences. Not only can Brilliant help those working through STEM in their respective fields, but it can also enlighten literally anyone who wants to solve simple problems through critical reasoning. You don't need to be an engineer or biology major to use Brilliant either. The platform utilizes unique storytelling modes through interactive puzzles or code writing related classes to help you challenge yourself and gain the tools necessary to solve both the everyday problems and the grander mysteries of the universe. It can be daunting to jump back into an educational form of media, especially when the amount of knowledge out there seems to be never ending. But we've truly found Brilliant to master the balance of teaching and nurturing, so you'll always feel comfortable no matter how complex or creative their interactive stories unfold. The best part is that Brilliant has given you a chance to access these opportunities in a few simple steps. Just go to brilliant.org/top5s and sign up for free. Not only that, but the first 200 people that use our link will get 20% off the annual premium subscription if you choose to move forward. So stop waiting around, sign up for Brilliant today, and finally answer that nagging question of how. Blue Alien Planet HD 189733b. About 63 light years away from Earth, there is a blue marble-looking planet. This gas giant is slightly larger than Jupiter and can be found in the constellation of Vulpecula. The planet was discovered orbiting the star HD 189733 on October 5, 2005, but its blue appearance wasn't confirmed until 2013. But don't be fooled by its stunning appearance, because this planet's atmosphere is made up of silicate particles, and as a result, it's believed it rains molten glass, and its blue appearance is speculated to be the result of glass raining down on its surface. The boiling hot glass rain is a consequence of the planet's close proximity to its sun, which causes daytime temperatures to soar as high as 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit, or 930 degrees Celsius. To put that into perspective, the maximum temperature a human could survive is 108 degrees Fahrenheit. At higher temperatures, the body turns into scrambled eggs. And if that wasn't bad enough, the winds reach in excess of 5,400 miles per hour. HD 189733b is one of the so-called hot Jupiters, a group of large planets that became so hot because they circle so tightly around their stars. So close, in fact, they risk being consumed. Hot Jupiters are easy to spot from a distance because as they pass in front of a star, their disk blocks out a large portion of the star's light, and their gravitational pull often causes their parent stars to wobble. This particular planet takes 2.2 Earth days to travel fully around its sun. The latest observations of the planet in X-rays also suggest HD 189733b has an outer atmosphere that is far larger than first thought, and because it's so close to its parent star, it is evaporating at a rate of 1 to 100 gigagrams per second, meaning eventually much of it will disappear, leaving only a dense core. There is much more to learn about the terrifying but beautiful HD 189733b that NASA once referred to as Reigns of Terror. PSR 162026b Methuselah. PSR B162026b is the oldest known planet in the universe, believed to be about 12.7 billion years old. It's known as Methuselah, after the biblical figure from the Bible of the same name, who allegedly was the oldest living human who lived to be 969 years old. Methuselah is an exoplanet located approximately 12,400 light-years away from Earth in the constellation of Scorpius, and is in a circumbinary orbit, meaning it orbits 2 stars instead of 1. Those 2 stars are a pulsar, PSR B162026, a highly magnetized rotating compact star, and a white dwarf, or degenerate dwarf, WD B162026, a compact star composed mostly of electronic degenerate matter. Methuselah is the first circumbinary planet ever confirmed, and is also the first planet found in a globular cluster, a large compact spherical cluster made up of old stars. The cluster itself has been estimated to be about 12.7 to 13 billion years old, and Methuselah, the pulsar, and the white dwarf are assumed to be of similar age. This is much older than any other known planet, and nearly 3 times as old as Earth. In comparison, the Sun has an age of 4.6 billion years. Methuselah is a frozen gas giant consisting of hydrogen and helium, precisely what would be expected of a star and planet dating back to the early universe. The origin of this planet is still unknown, but it's unlikely it formed where it is found today, because when an ordinary star becomes a neutron star, it does so during a very violent event, in which its outer layers are blown away, and the star then collapses due to its own gravity. In this case, a pulsar. It's believed that neither the white dwarf or the Methuselah planet could have survived these events, and so both were probably captured by the pulsar sometime later. It's even been questioned whether WDB 162026 and the Methuselah planet were ever originally part of the globular cluster. Some think that they may in fact have originated in the galactic halo of very ancient stars that surrounds the Milky Way, and somehow drifted inward and happened to get captured by the cluster's collective gravitation. Others suspect that Methuselah and its white dwarf star have always been part of the globular cluster, but were captured by the pulsar when the white dwarf was a main sequence star, before it swelled into a red giant and then lost much of its gas to the pulsar, shrinking to its present white dwarf status. This is, of course, as with most things in the universe, just a calculated guess. In reality, no one knows. Wasp 12b, the jet black disappearing planet. Exoplanets come in pretty much all colours, including jet black. Wasp 12b is a huge blistering hot planet that has a reflectance, or albedo, of just 0.064 at most. In comparison, Earth's is 0.37, meaning Wasp 12b has so little light it appears to be black. Wasp 12b lies about 1,400 light-years from Earth, and is about twice the size of Jupiter, and orbits closely around its star every 1.1 Earth days. Its super close orbit has made this planet a bizarre and hellish place, with temperatures on its day side reaching about 4,700 degrees Fahrenheit or 2,600 degrees Celsius, and the powerful gravitational pull of its parent star has distorted Wasp 12b into an egg-like shape. Since its discovery in 2008, Wasp 12b has been studied extensively, and in October 2016 it was examined with the Space Telescope Imaging Spectrograph instrument aboard NASA's Hubble Space Telescope to try and determine what makes it so black, because although it's not unusual for hot Jupiters to be very dark, they are usually much cooler than Wasp 12b, and things like clouds and alkali metals are the reason for the absorption of light. With Wasp 12b, it's so hot that the molecule hydrogen gets broken apart into atomic hydrogen in its skies, and the planet's atmosphere, of mostly atomic hydrogen and helium, is the reason for its pitch-black profile. Wasp 12b is just the second exoplanet to have its albedo measured spectrally in this manner. The other is fellow hot Jupiter, HD 189733b, that is also featured in this list, and appears to be deep blue. Though Wasp 12b reflects virtually no light, it does emit some. The planet is so hot that it glows red like molten metal, and is the hottest known planet in the Milky Way galaxy. However, it might also be the shortest lived, as it's speculated Wasp 12b is being consumed by its parent star. According to studies, the planet may only have another 10 million years before it's completely devoured. The reason for this is that Wasp 12b is so close to its sun-like star that the atmosphere around it has ballooned and is spilling material. But rather than being blown away by stellar winds, the lost atmosphere is getting pulled ever closer to its star, slowly being swallowed up by it. TRES 4b, the enormous Featherlight planet. TRES is short for Transatlantic Exoplanet Survey, a set of 3 4-inch by 10 cm telescopes at Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona, and Tide Observatory in Tenerife, Spain. TRES operated roughly from 2003 until 2011, during which it identified 5 exoplanets, with TRES 4b being the 4th. This planet is a gas giant, truly enormous, and currently regarded as the 4th largest exoplanet yet discovered, and for a while it was the largest. The size of this planet is still of relevance, however, because its size is a factor in what makes it so strange, and is an example of why linear dimensions do not necessarily matter by themselves. It's currently estimated to be about 1.8 times the size of Jupiter and orbits around the star GSC 0262 000648, a sun-like star that is 3 to 4 times more luminous than our Sun. It is located around 4.5 million miles from its sun. Although that is considered close, and being so close makes the temperature on the planet very hot, at around 2,300 degrees Fahrenheit. The strange thing about this planet is that it has a very low density, about 0.333 gmcc, which is about as light as a cork or balsa wood. If there were a big enough body of water to contain it, it would float. But no one really understands why it's so light, and it's one of the most mysterious planets in the universe. Gliese 436b. Gliese 436b, sometimes known as GJ 436b, is an exoplanet that orbits a red dwarf known as Gliese 436. It was discovered in 2007 and was the first confirmed hot Neptune planet. Gliese 236b is a gas giant about the size of Neptune. Its star-facing hemisphere is absolutely roasting at around 822 degrees Fahrenheit. However, this planet has more than one unexplained anomaly. The planet is composed mainly of hydrogen gas, and with such a high surface temperature, should have significant amounts of methane in its atmosphere. But for unknown reasons, the planet has more than 7,000 times less methane than it should, and also has a surprising excess of carbon monoxide molecules. Normally at such high temperatures, carbon monoxide should not be present to this degree, and the reason for this is still a mystery. But perhaps the strangest thing about this planet is it appears to have a large concentration of an unusual form of water ice, known as Ice X, present within its small rocky core. This strange ice substance can remain solid despite blisteringly hot temperatures. So how can water remain solid at these temperatures? While it's thought its gravitational force is so great that it has compressed water vapor from its former gas giant into a form of ice that forms into spikes under the right conditions, which can withstand such temperatures and pressures without melting. In the years since Gliese 436b was discovered, its mysteries have continued to perplex scientists. But what they do know is that similar to other exoplanets, Gliese 436b is evaporating due to pressure exerted on it by its parent star, and one day may vanish. so that's 5 of the many strangest planets discovered so far in the universe. Take a moment tonight to look up at the stars and just ponder about our existence and the fact that we are on a floating planet in an ever mysterious universe. And remember, if you haven't already heard, we have a new channel solely dedicated to astronomy. If you have an interest in space, the unanswered questions of the universe, and our search for life out there, you'll love Access Astronomy. Check it out in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching.